Yellow's not a good color on me, but I'm a Lakers fan. Don't worry about the hair. It's under a Lakers hat. Speaking of the Lakers, and these are my own personal opinions and have nothing to do with anybody, anywhere, at any time, at any place, at any moment. Like and subscribe. We need to trade LeBron. We need to get rid of LeBron. We're not going to win a championship with LeBron. Great. Thanks for 5 years in the bubble. You know what I mean? Great. I appreciate it. That was one. Thanks for the, inter-season championship. Great. You got the first one. It's time for him to go. I can't stand his flopping anymore. I can't stand, I understand if you're trying to draw like a foul, but you do the same thing every time. You grab the top of your head, you're trying to make sure, you're not losing any hair. Did I lose any of my transplants? No, you're fine, bro. All right. The most embarrassing thing was when your fake hair fell out of your head while you were playing. And the maid outfit. Those are the two most. Have you ever seen Kobe Bryant in a maid outfit? You ever see Michael Jordan in a maid's outfit? You ever seen Wilt Chamberlain in a dress? No. None of that. Right? And what is it with the NBA players carrying around purses? Every fucking one of them has got a purse. Everybody's got a purse. Why are you guys carrying around purses? All right? Get a backpack like everybody else. All right? Or stop carrying so much shit. All right? You don't need to carry a purse with you everywhere you go. And let me tell you something. As fashion forward as you think you are, most of you look like stupid. Why would anybody pay for that? Stop thinking everybody's got style. Not everybody has style. When I see you walking around in big red boots to a game, I look at you like you're silly. Like these big red boots, No, man. You're not concentrating on the game. You're concentrating on how am I going to look on the way to the game. That should be the last thing in your mind. You should come in however they expect you to dress. It should be simple. You should have your I'm going to kill 'em music on. Whatever it is, come into the court, dab your guys up, and you focus. That is a problem today. Nobody is focused. Connect is focus. I like Connect. All right, that's the guy. Austin Reed. The tres leches. That's what we should be calling them. The tres leches. Connect, Reeves, and that other guy we just got, number 77. You know his name. I forgot it. What about? Whatever. All right. Enough of the Lakers. Love the Lakers. Laker fan for life. Everybody thinks that they would be against slavery. Back in the day, we have to pay for our sins of slavery. We must pay for the sins of slavery, for we have wronged these people. Got it. I understand. Perfect. Should we give reparations to the Irish slaves? I mean, there were white slaves here too. And there's slavery today, the little kids who sew the soccer balls and make your little, when you're on Amazon, right? or you're on Alibaba, right? Where do you think all those cheap things are made, right? In the Uyghur slave camp? Most likely. At Foxconn, where they have nets to keep people from jumping and killing themselves. Yeah. So that is, and I'm filming this, by the way, on an iPhone. Thank you, Apple. My point is, out of sight, out of mind. We want the iPhone. We want the cheap stuff off of Amazon and Alibaba and all that stuff. And, you know, we don't care if there's like metal or toxin in them. We'll give them to our kids. You know, we'll let them chew on it because it was a good price. And it doesn't matter what price you have to pay for quality of life of your child. What matters is you got something cheap through slave labor. The shoes, most of the clothing, you know, these are done in factories outside. They used to be done here in America, but, you know, we used to just like, you know, sell to ourselves, right? Because it was easier for like mom and pop stores to make a living if you just got to sell to the people in the neighborhood. You know, the only like real great nationwide entity that you could get stuff from back in the day was like Sears. Sears had a catalog. Sears was the Amazon before Amazon. All right? You could buy chicks, you could get a house, you could get a car, you could get anything you want. You open up the catalog, you know, you get your chickens, you get your seeds, you know. But so I don't know how they were like ahead of everybody in technology and just kind of went, we should stick with the catalog. They like tactile, right? And now, you know, it's all gone. Nobody remembers Gemco either. I don't know how big Gemco was. That was an LA thing. We had one over here. Now there is a Home Depot there. You know, so the reason why so now you have like, you know, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, you know, and when it comes to like entertainment, there's like 5 companies, 6 companies that control it all. And then, you know, you when it comes to like internet, you know, how many companies are in control of our internet? Okay, so that's, you know, like what, 4 or 5 of those, you know, and then they have their like little subsidiaries that they allow to use their things. My whole point is we spent all this time expanding around the world, and what has it gotten us? Less privacy, more neuroticy, and cheap goods at the expense of poor people across the world. And nobody says a word. Israel is literally setting up like fucking like aid camps to feed people and then, you know, kill them when they start a riot, when they're like, hey, we're out of food today, you know, you're not going to get it. You know, they tell them to open up, and they, you know, you wonder how the Holocaust happened. You wonder how, like, oh, how could you let the Holocaust happen? We're watching one right now, okay? We're in the middle of a world war that everybody doesn't want to, you know, I realize I'm translating, but I'm trying to get, we're in the middle of a world war that nobody is recognizing whatsoever. We have our front in Ukraine. We have our front over there in China, between India and Pakistan. We have our front in the Middle East over there. And this is, you know, this all has to do with, like, you know, whose side are you on? Russia, China, United States, and Europe. And my personal feeling is that these people are crazy. These people are insane. Why are we fighting any wars? You have things going on in Africa. All these African nations want is for the foreign companies to get out of there and start and stop, you know, sending their kids to fucking mines to get cobalt and fucking lithium, dig with their hands, that's in every battery around the world. You say you don't want slavery, but, nothing but slave labor made this phone that this is filming on, You say you don't want it, and at the exact same time, corporations get stronger, we lose more rights, more freedom. I mean, it's coming. We're not going to have any personal freedom whatsoever, and we're going to give it up willingly because the new way things are going to be done is everything's going to be tokenized on a blockchain, just like you hear about with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It's all coming. The fiat money is going to disappear, and everything is going to be digital. All right? We're not going to carry around cash anymore. It's coming. It's going to be coming. People won't want, your American dollars. They won't want that. Do you have any gold? Do you have any Bitcoin? That's how it's going to be. This is Bitcoin. Think of Bitcoin as the mark of the beast. And by the way, whatever you think on that, it is what it is, because Bitcoin is a beast. It's the digital beast out there that's going to probably be considered by everybody in the world in 2030. 2030. And if you're on that train or not, good luck. But as we do these things, as we move forward, as we get advanced, as we do the AI, we have to think whose rights are being protected, who has access. Like every data breach there is, every social security number, everything about everybody is out there, right? Because of the amount of breaches that happen on the internet, the amount of hackers that are out there constantly trying to get at these huge databases. And all we keep doing is making more and more huge databases, putting more and more of our stuff out there. And nobody seems to want to stop that. We have homeless people living out in the streets, and we spent $24 billion here in California, and we have nothing to show for it. All right? Now they want to take violent criminals, thieves, and put them into, divergent programs so they don't have to go to jail. That's great. That's actually, now that I think about it, that's a pretty good law, because now you can force people into, of course, we could have spent less than $24 billion for that. Anyway, nobody wants the budgets looked at. If a Republican, and then when they do look at the budgets and they show you the fraud, nobody does anything about it. They're like, we're going to keep it. Don't worry about it. All right, we'll take care of it later. We'll figure it all out. Now that we know it's there, well, you're still going to give them the money? Yeah, we're not going to cut anything. We'll just move it around. You don't know where it's at. Doesn't matter. We'll find it now. Now we'll find it. These are the questions I have. These are the things that I see, yet there's nobody in the streets. And the media in America portrays like there's nobody. There's rioting in France. There's rioting going on in Ireland. Things are crazy around the world. And yet it's so silent and quiet here because we're so remote from all of it. You have to remember, we are one like an entire continent, oceans away from everything else. If we really wanted to, if we wanted to save like billions of dollars, millions of cash, we would close like every military base around the world. We'd just close them. We'd consolidate, and then what we would do we would go back to a militia-style nation where, every community gets together, gets their men, do the militia, yada, yada, yada. We prepare to case anybody invades us. And I guarantee you, I guarantee you, no one would want to fuck with us. We would be like Sparta. In the rest of the world, they're like, we don't want the U.S. to get involved because those people, I mean, they already think we're gun crazy, all right? They already believe we're gun crazy, you know? At the exact same time, you know, if we stopped meddling and let them just like, and say, hey, don't make us come out of, don't make us get out of our, do you remember when your dad, like, made you get out, you know, like you tested your dad. I'll give you an example. I tested my dad one day, right? I don't know how old, maybe 5. And he would count to 3 for me and my brother to go to bed. And one day I decided to wait till 3. Now my father went from laughing to a switch of anger. And he got up out of the chair, and as he's out of the chair, the belt is like unbuckled. As he's like coming up, it's like unbuckled. And by the time he's up, it's out, around in his hand, and I am off running, right? I don't remember what happened after that. No, that's not true. I got my ass tanned. I don't hate my father for it. But that, I mean, we've already done that. We threw the nuclear, we're like, everybody knows like what we'll do. If like, do you want us to get involved? Like all we have to say is like, do you really want America to get involved? Everybody will be like, well, I don't know. I mean, like, you know, trust me, all right? Everybody knows we're crazy. Nobody would want us to get involved in everything, and, you know, everything would go to peace. I think we're causing all the problems, you know? I think that's what it is. We just keep sticking our nose. If we got away from everything, and Europe would be like, oh, really? We don't have the backing of it. So Russia, what do you want? You want to sell peace? How much of Ukraine do you want? This is what would happen, you know? And Russia would be like, and we'd be like, you guys want us to get involved in that? And like, no. Okay, we'll go back. Everything would go back to normal. Because nobody would want America to get involved anymore. And that's what I'm saying. America, let's start cleaning up our own house and stop worrying about our neighbors. You know, trust me, Mexico does not want us to come in and start taking out cartels. At the exact same time, why not just grow our own Coke here? Why not just sell to ourselves? Let's cut out the middleman and just do it all here. We'll homegrown. We'll get, you know, mega corporations can be mega corporations anywhere but here in the United States. We'll cap like if you make $5 billion a year, $5 billion. That's $1,000 million 5 times. Okay, so that would take let's see. It's 3 times 5. Okay. 5, 3, 2, 10. Maybe 12 years. I don't know. But my point is, it would take them 12 years, spending $1 million a day. Every day. Just remember that. It takes 2.7 years to spend $1 million a day every day. All right? Just remember that for $1 billion. Remember that. You can buy $1 million home every day for 2.7 years and spend $1 million. That's spend $1 billion, okay? So just remember that. $1 million a day, every day, for 2.7 years. All right? It may, some people have that lifestyle, where they're, they got their yacht, they got the thing. They're spending like a couple $1 million a day to keep their lifestyle going. Do we need that? I understand we need titans of industry, but at some point, like somewhere, there should be like, the Oprah Winfrey Technical School for Black Women, right? There should be the That's just one. You know, there should be the Elon Musk school of engineering. You know what I mean? Like there should, and whoever like qualifies gets to go for free. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where are these billionaires giving back to the community in this country? Right? Where are they? What are they doing? I understand. Look, David Geffen has done great things here in Los Angeles for his, for the LGBTQ, for that community, the Rainbow Warrior community. I prefer that term better, Rainbow Warriors. Vicious. That's it, I'm done. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the Jesus Podcast.